ポーが死ぬべき運命の地ボルチモアに現れたのは1849年9月の末頃と推定される。この頃のポーを天敵グリズウォールドが肉々しげにこう描写している。
He walked the streets in madness or melancholy, with lips moving in indistinct curses, or with eyes upturned in passionate prayer. Never for himself, for he felt or professed to feel that he was already damned, but for their happiness who were at the moment the objects of his idolatry. A tattered frock coat concealed the absence of a shirt, and the ruins of boots disclosed more than the want of stockings.
By the way, are you aware that Godwin wrote his Caleb Williams backward? He first involved his hero in a web of difficulties, forming the second volume, and then, for the first, cast about him for some mode of accounting for what had been done. Who is it?
いや失礼。こんな場所に部屋があるなど思いもよらなかったもので、お取り込み中にどうも。
Why do you think you're interrupting me?
足元に転がった紙くずを見ればわかります。それにこの部屋に充満したインクの香り、よほど長い時間インク壺の蓋が開いていた証拠です。とても厄介な手紙。例えばあまりお好きではない人物に釈罪の申し入れをする手紙をお書きになっているか、あるいは小説をお書きになっていて釘印されている、そのような体に見受けられます。
A man who makes such a shrewd guess must be a worldly-minded mystery writer or a detective. Need I remind you that I am a poet? If I dare to say my title, calling me a novelist would be infelicitous.
失礼ですが、小説家よりも詩人の方が高級だとおっしゃってるようにも聞こえますが。
Do you dislike poetry?
少なくともあなたが俗だとおっしゃる推理小説の文学的価値が詩より低いとは思ってもないだけです。
It's useless discussing its worth because the root is the same. This is my philosophy of composing poems. And now, it appears evident that since poetry in this new sense is the practical result expressed in language, in the poetic sentiment in certain individuals, the only proper methods of testing the merits of a poem is by measuring its capabilities of exciting the poetic sentiment in others.
面白い。
We do not hesitate to say that a man highly endowed with the powers of causality, that is to say, a man of metaphysical acumen, even with a deficient share of ideality, will compose a better poem, if we judge it as we should by its capability of exciting the poetic sentiment, than one who, without such metaphysical acumen, shall be gifted with a high degree of the faculty of ideality. For a poem is not the poetic faculty, but the means of exciting it in mankind.
なるほど。あなたの説を取るならば、最良の推理小説家は最良の詩人でもある ということにもなりますね。
Interpret it as you like it. Many writers, poets in especial, prefer having it understood that they compose by a species of fine frenzy and ecstatic intuition, and would positively shudder at letting the public behind the scenes to have a peek at the elaborate and vacillating crudities of thought.
芸を隠すのが芸というわけですね。
For my part, I have neither sympathy for the repugnance alluded to, nor at any time the least difficulty in calling to mind the progressive steps of any of my compositions. And since the measure or the interest of an analysis or reconstruction, such as I have considered a desideratum, is quite independent of any real or fancied interest in the thing analyzed, it will not be regarded as a breach of decorum on my part to show the modus operandi by which some one of my works was put together. I select The Raven as the most generally known. It is my design to render it manifest that no one point in its composition is referable either to accident or intuition, that the work proceeded step by step to its completion with the precision and rigid consequence of a mathematical problem.
あなたはまるで大ガラスの作者かのようなことをおっしゃる。東鉄の悪魔、分析の天才、論理と幻想と神秘と計測の最も新しき結合の創始者、稀に見る心理学者、芸術のあらゆる手段を深め利用する技術的な文学者。
Those are the words of Paul Valery.
ええ、あるアメリカ人作家を賛美する言葉です。
Would you please leave me alone now? I have to win my livelihood.
その男臭いな。
まさかとは思いますが、ポーと全く同じことを言ってましたから。
実はね、明智君、私も最初は誤解していたんだ。ポーの本領は大ガラスなどの詩や黒猫アッシャー家の崩壊という怪奇的神秘的な小説にあるんだってね。
つまり推理小説はポーの単なる余儀に過ぎないと。
ああ、ポーをあげつらうのに探偵小説を持ち出すのは見当違いじゃないかって悩んだこともある。しかし詩作ですら格のごとき論理的数学的計算上に成り立っているとすれば、その他は押して知るべしだ。
悪くないですね。
何がだね。
好きになってきました、ポーのことが。
Poe's a great mathematician. He's apparently he apparently has a great facility with numbers. When he's in the army, he is given a position where he is in charge. He has this position with artillery, and where he has to calculate the amount of powder to put in something and how long it will take that powder to go off in this particular artillery, and it's all based on very strict mathematical formulas.
ボルチモア時代のポーが住んでいたアミティ街の小さな借家。ポーがバージニアとクレム夫人親子に出会い、一緒に暮らし始めたこの家を訪れたとしていても不思議ではない。